Welcome to Nice! Now, how do you get from the airport to your hotel? There are taxis, of course, quick and easy after a long and strenuous flight, but there are other options too, like, for example, the tram. In this video, we'll show you exactly what means of transport there are between Nice Airport, the city center, and other cities on the French Riviera, what the fares are, and how to buy your tickets. Plus, how you can save more than 50% on your tram fare by doing as the locals do. 6 million people arrive at Nice Airport every year. Are you one of them? While you can always take a helicopter to get to Monaco, some of us prefer a more sustainable way of getting around, or simply aren't going to Monaco. In that case, here are 5 easy ways to get to your hotel or vacation rental if you don't have friends or family to pick you up. Although Nice Airport is the 3rd largest in France after the 2 Paris airports, it is quite small and it's easy to find your way around. There are 2 terminals, Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, and no matter where you arrive, there are taxis waiting for you. At Terminal 1, all you have to do is walk through the arrivals hall and exit right here to get to the taxi stand, which is just a few steps to your right. At Terminal 2, it's similarly easy to get to the nearest taxi. You'll come out of this door and then just walk straight through this one, and voila, here's your line to catch a taxi. Now, how much is a taxi ride on the French Riviera? There are flat rates for the 4 main destinations from the airport. 32 euros for the trip to the center of Nice, 85 euros to go to Cannes, 95 euros to get to Monaco, and 72 euros for the trip to Antibes-Juan-les-Pins. A service charge of 4 euros is added to these prices. Prices for some of the other larger locations vary depending on the time of day. Of course, there are also private drivers that you can call via an app on your phone. They are considerably cheaper. We compared a ride from the airport to Avenue Thiers in the center of Nice. While you would pay 36 euros with a normal taxi, it's between 18 and 20-something euros with Bolt, depending on your choice of vehicle, between 22 and 30-something with Uber, and between 20 and 30-something with Free Now. The tram is the easiest way to get around in Nice, and for a few years now there's been a direct connection to the airport. There are 2 lines that leave from the airport. The blue line number 2, which takes you to the city center, and the green line number 3, which goes north towards the stadium. There's also a 3rd line, line number 1, which you can change to in the city center. There's a departure every few minutes for line 2, which you'll most likely take. The tram runs between 4 a.m. and around midnight. You'll find a tram stop at both terminals, very close to the arrivals hall. Now, how do you buy a ticket? You can get a 10 euro return ticket at the ticket machines at the airport next to the tram stops. The machines speak different languages and you can pay by credit card or coins. So, select your language. Then select buying ticket. Then 1 airport return for 10 euros. And how many tickets you'd like. And finally, follow the instructions to pay. Fairly easy. The thing is, normally a trip within Nice costs 1,70 euro, so a return trip would be 3,40 euro, plus a one-time fee of 2 euro for the pink rechargeable card, making a total of 5,40 euro and not 10 euro. So here's what the locals do and what's perfectly legal. The tram ride between T2, T1 and the next stop called Grande Arena is free for everyone. So just hop on either line 2 or 3 and get off at Grande Arena and buy your ticket for €1.70 at one of the ticket machines. Here we go as before. Select language, select buying tickets, select €1.70 for a one-way ticket to get to your destination. Of course, you could also buy several trips. We're charged €3.70 for our first trip, since we also have to get the pink rechargeable card. Et voilà! If you have an Android phone, you can also get an electronic ticket or top it up via the Ligne d'Azur Tickets app. If you have an iPhone, you can only reload an existing card, but not buy a first-time ticket. Be sure to choose line 2 to continue your trip to the city center, because here the two lines begin to take different routes. Once on board, don't forget to validate your ticket by swiping it in front of this green square. See the description below the film for links to timetables and itineraries, and to learn how to get reimbursed for the pink card when you no longer need it. There are also buses to leave the airport. Express buses that take you to the major cities around Nice, and regular buses within Nice and to many other cities, as well as long-distance buses. Express bus number 80 takes you from the airport to Monaco and Menton, and number 81 takes you to Le Canet and Cannes. A one-way ticket for those two lines is €19. Number 82 brings you to Antibes and Vallauris for €9 one way. The express buses and long-distance buses take off at Terminal 2. The regular bus that takes you to the city center of Nice, again for €1.70, the purple line number 12, starts not far from Terminal 1 on the Promenade des Anglais, at the bus stop called Aéroport Promenade. Please read the description below the film to find out how to get tickets for the different buses. There's a new train station not far away from the airport, the Gare de Nice-Saint-Augustin. So if you want to continue your journey to Antibes, Cannes, Monaco, or even further, just hop on a train. Remember, it's free to take the tram to the stop called Grand Arena, and that's exactly where you'll find this station. Last but not least, there are rental cars that will take you wherever your heart desires. At Terminal 1, find all the common companies within the building. At Terminal 2, you have to step out of the airport building, walk through the car park just opposite, and follow the signs. It's a little bit of a walk, so hopefully your luggage is on wheels. We've talked a lot about the two terminals at Nice Airport, so here's a little help on where your flight should arrive. At the newer terminal T2, mainly the following airlines land and take off: Air France, Delta, EasyJet, Emirates, ITA Airways, KLM, as well as Volotea, Wizz, Air Corsica, and some others. And at T1, it's mainly those from other European countries, plus United, Air Canada, and Qatar Airways. A little extra tip if you plan on moving around a lot: the app called Move It works really well on the Côte d'Azur. So just switch it to this region, enter your destination, and the app will tell you exactly how to get there by bus, tram, train, or even private ride services like Bolt. Now that you're in Nice, you're also gonna get hungry. So why don't you watch one of our two other films about cheap eats and must-try foods?